Okie dokie, we'll get this powered up. This is the brand new 2020 CR-V Touring model. It is the hybrid. We've been waiting to get our fingers on this for a number of weeks now, and all hybrid CR-Vs are going to be all-wheel drive. So all-wheel drive hybrid CR-V Touring 2020 just arrived off the truck. It hasn't even been detailed. We've got it PDI'd so I can take it out for a drive, but this is finished in white with the black interior. And let's go over a few features before we take it for a spin and see how it compares. So on the 2020, if you haven't checked out the 2020 CR-V gasoline engine review that I did and demo drive, then we'll just quickly go over some of the features. Honda Sensing standard, we have the regenerative braking, try and say that, regenerative, something like that. It's the paddles there. It's not gear shift, it's to adjust how much force in the braking pressure is to recharge the battery in the hybrid system. All electronics for door locks, windows, and mirrors on the left. Memory seats standard. As I said, the Honda Sensing Suite. Automatic headlamps, full LED, and automatic high beam on this, along with the pedestrian collision avoidance system. On the left hand side, we've got our information display here on our middle center portion there. We can toggle through and we can see what we want to look at as we go through. So various options on there, from the drivetrain to music to phone connectivity. We'll just look at the battery status on this. Also Bluetooth, and on the right hand side, that heated steering wheel now standard on the Touring, plus the Honda Sensing Suite over here. Looking at the center console, huge difference here. So no shifter, it's now the push button shift. On the right hand side we have an EV button, Econ button, and a Sport option which turns it red with a little Sport logo. Familiar on the Accord. On the left hand side, very familiar, the parking brake and the brake hold. Down in the center here, we've brought up the USBs from down below in the older console. That's now up here, and along with a QI wireless charging port. That little console has changed in the 2020 CR-V. It's now a much better designed sliding flap which pivots and swings about the way if you want to use that down here for a little extra room. No changes up here. Sirius XM radio, Garmin navigation, free for 5 years with map updates. We've obviously got phone settings for your Bluetooth, Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, all standard, automatic dimming rear view mirror, your home link, and your automatic one touch on the moonroof. So let's have a little spin in this now that I've given you a quick overview of what's in front of us, and we'll see how it performs. Rated at 38 mpg overall, 40 on the highway, and I think 35 around town. A little bit of traffic out there. It is just gone 5:15 here in the afternoon in Central Texas here at Round Rock Honda. I'm in drive. We'll use the brake hold, and let's see how we go. Super smooth, super quiet. What I do like to do on these demo drives is just to see what the 3-point turn would be like, and using the red fire line as our one curb option, I'm going to use our other fire line. So there's one, there's two, and easily round in 3. What was obvious to me, but I don't know if you can hear that, is that little jingly sound that the Insight and the Accord hybrid has. Backup camera's nice. We're in that super wide angle. Look at the standard angle, and then we'll look at the drop down angle there. There we go. And we're all parked. Backup camera nice. Brakes are very sensitive. That's my first impression. A little bit sharper than the regular gasoline version of the CR-V. Leather wrap steering wheel is nice as well. Let's take her out on the road. Initial feel just behind the wheel here is that it just feels a touch heavier. So this has the 2-litre Atkinson cycle engine. And in fact, we'll toggle through to how the power's being delivered on the little display there. And play around with these paddles as well for the charging of the battery. So brake hold on, hit the brake. Brake and motor now powering the wheels, all four. It's smooth. It's definitely quiet. That's me using that regenerative braking paddle there, which is actually slowing the car right down. I can reduce the pressure there without even having touched the brake. So that's adding charge to the battery under braking. Just put the adaptive cruise control on. Powering battery only. Still battery only. Now the motor and the battery are powering. We've got the adaptive cruise control following that white Buick in front of us. Just going to change lanes. Just picked up the Honda Accord in front. Applying brakes for us. I'm covering the brake, I'm not touching the brake, it's applying the brake as we come around here. It's applied the brake, I still haven't touched anything as we went around that corner. Still using the adaptive cruise control. It's picked up the bike as well. I've never tried it with a bike. Pretty cool. Super smooth. And again, it's applied the brakes there. I've not touched anything. Let's increase our speed. We'll go to 60. So you can hear the Atkinson cycle engine really rev up there. Somewhat similar to a CVT in many ways, how the gasoline engine just throws all of the power out and then cuts back down. But aided by the battery, it's now charging the battery as we're running. Let's try a little bit of the lane keep assist. Lane departure. Yep, pulls us back in. Very smooth. Blind spot monitoring system, the BSI working on our left hand side, picking up the vehicle in my mirror who's just decided to pull in right behind. Really charging the battery there under braking. Back into the dealership. And now under battery power. I don't know if we've got enough power to run EV mode. Yes, we have. So we can run short distance on EV mode. So just electric vehicle mode, just to creep around when we come into the neighborhood late at night. Stealthily come home. Not that it's noisy anyway. This is rather good. Our speed bumps are pretty critical. It handles those nicely. Yeah, real good little test drive. So this is the hybrid. This is Amy. Amy's over here. 1 second. Come say hello, Amy. Hello. I don't know where. You'd have to creep in here actually. There we go. That's Amy. Amy's one of our finance team. You're just coming out to check my hybrid.
Yes, I like it.
Yeah. Well, thank you. Well, that was Amy over there on camera, off camera, probably off camera. She'd be better on camera, to be fair, other than me. So, what can I tell you? I like this. A little bit more weight, a little bit of a heavier feel to the car, but perhaps not to be surprised too much about that. The weighting of it, though, feels very balanced. Nothing disproportionate, not too heavy at the front, nothing wallowing around at the back. Everything feels right, feels good. As I said, first impressions as we took this for the drive. This is the first time I've driven this car. I'd love to know what your thoughts are, but if we can truly get 40 mpg out of this for a full-size two-row SUV, that's a pretty darn good yardstick, and the quality of the CR-V itself compared to everything else in class. Personally, having been able to drive the Toyota RAV4, obviously the key competitor here in this market for this vehicle, somewhat the Subaru as well, but in terms of numbers and the quality, this is by far, if you've ever sat in a RAV4 and a CR-V, you'll know. And I don't need to sell you on that, and that's not the purpose of this video. It's just to tell you my first impressions. Other little things I didn't go through, obviously the heated seats for both driver and passenger. Still no ventilated seats in any of the CR-Vs, just as a point of reference. That sometimes comes up in some of the comments. What else can I tell you? It's a really nice vehicle. Anyway, that was our first demo drive. First impressions, took it out on the road. It's the Touring CR-V 2020 hybrid model. It is all-wheel drive, and it's rather snazzy. I like it. Well done, Honda. Thanks for bringing this out. And thank you for tuning in. Remember to hit the subscribe button. I will do a full product demo on this vehicle very shortly as well. So watch out for that if you want a real in-depth. We'll rip it to pieces, basically. Not sure the boss will like it, but we're going to do it. We're going to take it literally under the hood, in the back, everything we can possibly look at, we'll look at in detail. Anyway, thanks again, and we'll see you on the next one.